Hey everyone, it's just Richard Laws here, otherwise known as Talnoy from cybergamer.com.au. Now what we've got for you today is Western Digital has sent over a toy for me to play with. What it is the Western Digital Livewire Powerline AV unit. Now what this unit is designed for, obviously you can see it up here beside me, all mostly unboxed. Now what this unit does is if you had an Xbox in the lounge room and you wanted to get it on the network, you didn't have the wireless kit, or you had a home theatre PC for example that you wanted to connect in. Now what you can do is you can use two of these little units here, put one beside your router, connect it to your router so obviously it gets on the internet, and then put the other one at the other side of the house, and then what it does is it connects the two devices via your power points and it creates a network bridge between them, so obviously you can connect a home theatre PC or an Xbox beside your TV without having to put in wireless cards and things like that. Now one of the great things about these is they're rated up to 200 megabytes per second, so it is dependent on how good the cabling in your house is. So if your cabling in the house is relatively new, there's not a lot of junction boxes up in the roof, you should get really quite high speeds. It's a great alternative obviously to having Ethernet cables running all around the walls of your house, or having to have cables put in. And yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do just a flyover of the products itself and what comes with the kit, and also I'll just do a little bit of a video tutorial on how to set it up. So next we'll cut to the flyover and we'll see you there. Okay, and first up we have the box that it comes in. You have a figure 8 power cable. You can use any figure 8 power cable, which is really cool in case you happen to damage yours. It comes with the installation CD and manual, 2 Ethernet cables, obviously you're not going to connect anything without those, and your 2 Powerline AV boxes. Now as you can see, you've got 4 Ethernet connection indicators there, the PC link which tells you when the devices are actually talking to each other, and the power. So that's our flyover, and we'll move on to the demonstration. Okay, so guys, we're back. Obviously we're going to do a demonstration now of how this Western Digital Powerline AV unit works. It's actually really quite simple. I just did a test run then just to obviously make sure I understood the concept before I showed you, so obviously I didn't look like an idiot. But all we have to do is plug our unit into power. Now on the side, right beside the power connector, there is a on-off button, so obviously you need to turn that on. Okay, so we see our units firing up. We've got a solid power light and a PC link light. So now what we'll do is, obviously you plug this into your router. So we'll plug that into our router like so. Now one of the things to note is when you put your Powerline AV unit onto your other location, whether it be the other side of the house or whether it be into an Xbox, you need to enter a password to get them to connect, which you do that using the utility that comes with the unit. Now on the bottom of the unit itself, there's a sticker there with the password. Just make sure you write that down. Obviously I've already done that, so just make sure you write that down, because you're going to need that when you plug in your second unit on the other side of the house. So what we'll do is we'll just do a bit of a cutscene here, and we'll switch to the other computer and we'll get it set up and we'll show how it works. Okay guys, so we've made the move to the lounge room. Obviously I've come out the office and we've come into the lounge room. Now first thing obviously we've got to do is we've got to plug our second unit in, which I've done. Now we'll just flick that on, and what we should automatically see is you'll see the power light come on, which is this one to the far right hand side, but you should also see a PC link light come on, and what that means is obviously it's found the other device through the power point and it's talking to it. Now before we plug the network cable in, it does have to be configured using the utility, so what we'll do is we'll install the utility on the computer first, and that way obviously you can get the device to connect. Otherwise you plug your network cable in, it's not going to find an IP address, and it's not necessarily going to do it once you do get it installed. So it's easy to plug your network cable in after it's all set up. That way it's all connected and working when you plug the cable in, so it will successfully get an IP address. So what we'll do is we'll just pop our installation CD in. It's not a very complex install, it's pretty basic. Like most installations, I recommend the next philosophy, where you basically click next until it goes away. So we'll just wait for our disk to spin up here. So yeah, so it's pretty basic to set up. I was actually quite surprised and quite happy with how easy it was and how well it's worked. So, okay, so we'll just run our setup. Okay, of course we accept the terms of the agreement. Now we want to install the Livewire utility, which is in the bottom left hand corner. Okay, so it wants to install WinPC app, so obviously it must need that for proper functioning, so we'll install that. Like I said, just use the next philosophy, just keep clicking next until it goes away, and yeah, it'll work fine for you. Okay, so here's our WD Livewire utility setup. So we go next, I agree, and install, and it's installed, it's that quick. So we click on finish. Now we'll just close that there, that's the installer. Now what we'll see is, it's obviously it hasn't picked up the device because it's not plugged into the computer. So we'll plug in the Ethernet cable, like so. Now it's set to auto scan, but if that's not set, you probably can't see it on the screen, but towards the right hand side there's an option to turn auto scanning on. Oh, well here we go, it's found the device that I've just plugged in. Now there we go, see in this little box down here it's found the second device. Now the pitfall I found when I first plugged it in is I just thought, okay, I'll just plug it in, it'll work, I don't need to install the utility. But obviously you've got to key the password in, otherwise the two units aren't going to sync and then it won't pass any data through it. So to do that, you just click on device 2 and you click on enter password. Now obviously I don't need to do this because lucky I put my trusty sticky note here and I've written it down. So we can cancel that. And once you put your password in, you'll see a signal quality, which is obviously it's dependent on your house, how well your house is wired. How many junction boxes there may be in the middle. There's a lot of different factors that will determine what quality you get. But just like wireless, it's a very similar thing. It's just it doesn't have as much latency as wireless, which is really good. Now I'm connecting at 31 megabytes per second. These units are rated up to 200. Obviously, again, depending on how new your wiring is, how well it's wired, how direct the connection is between the two power points that you've connected them to. Okay, so that's all connected. Now, once that's done, there's the obvious simple test. So we'll bring up a command prompt and we will ping, I'll ping the router and we'll tell you what the LAN latency is. And there you go, that's 4 milliseconds, which is really quite good. That's a lot better than wireless. Obviously it's not as good as Ethernet, which is usually 0 to 1 millisecond, but you got to remember, this is for anywhere in your house. You can just plug your Xbox in beside the TV. You know, it takes away the need for you to get cabling into your house or run 20-meter cables around the house to be able to connect, say, a home theatre PC beside the TV. You can just plug these two units in and off you go. It's really that simple. So we've got a network connection, so we'll just make sure that we can get on the internet. Oh, there we go, there's 9MSN. Now we'll just click on the link on 9MSN just to make sure, because obviously sometimes websites do cache. So we'll click on the shark bite man needs 50 stitches. And there we go, that's come up fine. So we've got an internet connection. Now what we'll do is we'll jump on the network here. There you go, it's picked up the local machine obviously. And it should go off scanning for other computers on the network. Eventually. Oh, there we go. So it's picked up the other two computers in the house here. That was all fine. So I'll see if there's anything. I'm not sure if I've got to share on my computer, but we'll try it anyway. Let's key my password in correctly. Oh, I've got to share. Alright, let's see if we can get a file off of here. Downloads, what have we got in here? Let's find something of decent size. After Effects is probably a bit big at 1 gig in size. We'll grab, say, the Mumble installer, which is only 12 megs, so we'll copy that and we'll drop it on the desktop. And here we go. 3 megabytes per second. So that's not too bad. That really isn't too bad for, you know, it's a device that's equivalent or alternate to wireless. So that's really quite good. So basically that's it. We've done a connection test. We can get on the internet. Latency is 4 milliseconds, so you won't see an additional latency on your internet connection. There might be a minor one, because obviously your LAN latency is 4 milliseconds, but if you add that on to, say, a ping of 35, that's 39. So you're not really going to have an impact on gaming performance if you were, say, running your Xbox and playing, say, Halo Online or something like that. You're not going to have a dramatic ping difference like you do on a home wireless network. And that's it. We're all done. We're connected. It works. It's a very handy device. Thank you, Western Digital.